Hey guys, so this is the Northwest Winter Storm by DJ Norman. So first question, what was the Northwest Winter Storm and when and where did it occur? So according to the Weather Channel, the Northwest Winter Storm of January 2024 occurred from January 13th, 2024 to January 15th, 2024. The storm occurred in the northwest of the United States, notably starting in Oregon, then moving through Colorado, then into the southern part of the United States. The storm produced a lot of snow, and I even remember this actually because, as stated in the Weather Channel article, even Texas was getting snow due to the storm. And I remember earlier this year when it was going on, them saying that, yeah, Texas hasn't got a snow in a very long time and that they might because of the storm. So moving on to the next point, how many dollars did the Northwest Winter Storm total in damages? So according to Coin, the Northwest Winter Storm totaled over $72 million in damages as calculated by the Oregon Office of Emergency Management. And that was just in Oregon. So according to Wikipedia, the overall damage was $3 billion throughout the United States. And then also according to AP News, this storm took out at least 2 lives in the Northwest. So obviously this storm caused a lot of damage and hardship to a lot of people. Next point is how many billion dollar winter storms have there been over recent years, and when and where was the most recent one before this one? So according to the Weather Channel, NOAA has documented 16 winter storms with damages that totaled in over $1 billion since 1980. Winter Storm Riley from March 2018. I also remember that one because I was on spring break, 7th grade when it happened. It's the most recent one on the list, and the number of these storms per year appears to be decreasing. So then moving on to the next point, how much is the cumulative cost in winter storms over the past 20 years? So according to the Weather Channel, the total cost in winter storms over the past 20 years, if you include the one that just happened in January, is $12.7 billion. So a lot of money. And then moving on to how are these winter storms being created and what is the cause of them? So also according to the NOAA National Severe Storms Laboratory, winter storms are created when moist air rises up into the atmosphere, creating low pressure near the surface and clouds up in the sky. Then the air can also be used upwards by mountains and hills by a process called lift. So moving on to our next point, can climate change affect conditions that lead to winter storms? If so, how? So according to the New York Times, yes, climate change can affect some conditions that contribute to winter storms. As talked about in the article, warmer temperatures should mean that there is less snow, but warmer temperatures mean that the atmosphere can hold more water, which creates more precipitation and makes it more likely to fall rapidly. So yes, on the surface, the difference between 2 degrees means that on a day when it could be like 31 dumping snow, it's 33 and dumping rain. But when the temperatures are below freezing, even if it's more rare now, the chances of a big snowstorm increase because this atmosphere can hold more water, which means more snow when it is below freezing. So then moving on to using evidence, do you believe that climate change had anything to do with the creation of the storm? So I personally would just point to the fact above in question 3 that says winter storms are actually decreasing. Like, that just makes me think, at least on the surface, and I could be wrong, and I usually am, especially if you ask Professor Sturmer, he knows, but it really didn't have anything to do with the Northwest winter storm. If anything, as we talked about above, it actually might be stopping these winter storms because it is warmer, which makes them less likely to occur. But also, like talked about in the last question, when they do occur, it is bad and worse than it was in previous years because the atmosphere is warmer, so it can hold more water. So kind of a trick question. It can go both ways. But yeah, I mean, it's decreasing because the air is warmer, so it's not, you don't have as many chances for them because it's not below freezing as much as it used to be. But when it is below freezing, the atmosphere can hold more water, so when it does come down, it it definitely is more snow than it used to be. And then moving on to, were there any other natural or human factors that contributed to the Northwest winter storm? So after doing some extensive research on the internet, I could not find any other natural or human factors that contributed to the Northwest winter storm. And then lastly, how can humans better prepare for a winter storm? So the CDC says some pretty basic stuff, just like insulate your house, smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector, then keep your car in a good working order, make sure it has gas in it, air in the tires, basic stuff there. And then obviously just keep yourselves, family members, pets indoors, and then keep on your local news. So that's all I got for you guys. Appreciate y'all for listening. And if you guys happen to vote on who has the best video, y'all should definitely vote for me, because we get extra credit if you do. So appreciate y'all.